Hello world, my name is Dana ID Matthews and welcome to my show about stuff, and today I'm going to be talking about the new Nutcracker and the Four Realms movie that came out last week. Now, the only reason I even heard of this movie was because I checked out what was going to be in theaters trying to find something to do on a date night with my partner. I didn't see any commercials, didn't read about it anywhere, nothing, which is a little surprising because you'd think, considering it's a classic story, the first of the Christmas movies since Halloween finished, you'd think they'd be all over the promo, but for some odd reason, I didn't see any sort of push for it. Now, the movie itself, one big difference, the Nutcracker is a black man. I am all for inclusion. That's a good look. And they also managed to get Morgan Freeman for this one somehow. His stardom speaks for itself. So seeing those two things, my wife and I went out and gave this movie an honest shot. I am very vaguely familiar with the Nutcracker story. It's not something, I've dove into as a child. So I came into this with no real expectations. I'm also not one of the die-hard movie buffs slash critics who need the storyline to be exact or the characters to be exactly how they should be. And you can't see, but I'm using air quotes for should because times are changing and I'm happy about that. I feel no need to uphold unfair standards. Okay, with that said, the Nutcracker and the Four Realms wasn't actually that bad. Don't let the online critics, hear me though, because they would strongly disagree. But both my partner and I ended up enjoying the movie. Now, I'm not going to sit here and say that it's particularly unique or groundbreaking, but there were some cool things about it that we enjoyed. One thing I can remember that stood out is the Rat King. My partner and I were not sure how they were going to go about the graphics for when all the mice would join together and make one giant, Rat King thing. But they actually managed to pull it off, and it was pretty cool to look at. If you've seen the anime movie Princess Mononoke, and if you remember the demon at the beginning, how he looked with all those, dark slug things wiggling around, making up its body. Well, that's kind of how they went about it with the graphics for the Rat King moments and movements, and when all the rats would become one body, and I have to admit, it looked pretty damn cool. They did a good job on that. One major complaint from a lot of critics that I noticed when I was reading stuff up after I saw the movie, I noticed they said there wasn't enough dancing, and I get it. The Nutcracker is usually ballet heavy. It is a song and dance type of thing originally, but honestly, I didn't mind. The one part that did focus on dancing was well done, telling the story of how the protagonist's mother originally discovered the Four Realms, featuring a mixed black woman as the ballet dancer who looked fantastic. Like I said before, I'm all about inclusion, and it was nice to see. And to be honest, I did kind of wish the dancing was a little bit longer. Just maybe adding a few more details to the story for an extra, minute or two of dancing. But it was more of a small disappointment, and not a make or break moment. Because, like I said, the actual dancing was good. Just wish it would have been a little bit longer. Now on to the protagonist. Now we got a classic, little girl discovering she's more than just an ordinary little girl trope. Done to death, but it is what it is. I actually liked how her and the Nutcracker interacted. I don't like how every male-female combo in movies or shows or whatever have to have, some romantic feelings for each other. And even though there were longing look moments, they did a good job at keeping it pretty platonic. And I think every now and then it's refreshing to see. But the relationship does build. They help each other. They feel, a special connection to each other, yada, yada, yada. Another character I really liked was the Sugar Plum Fairy. Overly, cutesy voice. One scene in particular that was funny, my partner and I laughed at, was when she stress ate her hair. Because it was made out of cotton candy, which is funny because then my partner lost her appetite for the current cotton candy that she was eating. So I thought that was pretty funny. It was, it's the little things in movies, and the little things in this movie is what make it watchable. The plot, it's not hard to figure out. I actually felt like the movie could have been longer to give more depth to the other characters, like Mother Ginger. I thought she looked pretty cool. I like the scars on her face and whatnot. I'm not gonna spoil anything because there is a twist, like halfway, 3/4 of the way in, but it felt rushed. I wish they had developed the plot a little more. Flesh out the characters instead of just kind of assuming all about them, so they can just kind of steamroll through the story. Either way, the movie is predictable, but it's still fun to watch. Got kids? Even better. It's not perfect. It's not really unique. Nothing that's really new or groundbreaking. But at the end of the day, my partner and I went out and saw an hour-and-a-half movie. And when we left, we were happy. So what does that mean? To me, it's a movie worth seeing, at least once. Even if it's not the greatest thing ever, but it's also not the worst. I think it's worth seeing at the very least to form your own opinion about it. And with that said, that's it for me. My name is Dana ID Matthews. This is my show about stuff. Thank you very much for listening. Peace out.